So I had an epiphany, Jace, and I sneaked back last night and I used the factory body plug. You know, I told you the factory body plug was really, really long. Well, I cut like this much wire off it, off the big one, and I repinned it on the back side because I had the right pins. And then I went to do the small one as well. Turns out I don't have the small pins. The 025, whatever it is, pins. Yazuki. So luckily I didn't cut that off, because otherwise I would have been in a bit of a problem. And I pulled a favour. Talked to the boys at Waikato Toyota, who want to see this next week, when it's got an exhaust, and I got cruise control info. So that makes for the extra pins that are on my ECU. And I got the data for the cruise control switch. It's an analog input, so it changes the voltages, the voltage levels. It's a series of resistors in the switch, so it goes in through one analog input. And then you've got to set it in the ECU for the cruise control switch. So you put one input in, and then you say it's a resume at this level, start at this level, on at this level, off at this level. I've been busy.
Cool.
Right, I'll run some more wires.
I'll put my battery on charge.
You put your battery on charge. And you do some fan wiring.
Sort of done.
It's sort of done.
Yeah.
It really looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to go to... So this is what Jace does in here. Look. Oh, wait, no it doesn't. Inside the glow plug relay. Just becomes a big contact. The engine has become the work stand, and there's more wires out of the car than in the car now. It's more apart than we started. 3/4 of the day through the day, and it's more apart than we began. But, how did you get on this morning going to the wreckers?
Oh, I got done with a beer.
Well, you took the beer to the wreckers.
I know.
Jace this morning went for a bit of a raid, and if you know the right people and you take beer, you can pretty much get anything you wanted, which in this case happens to be a fuse box out of a KUN Hilux. Look at that. We needed a couple of terminals, so this one is going to be sacrificed to the conversion gods, and we will be using parts out of it. And it was a box of beer. We're almost done under here. This loom, it was easier than working under the cabin, is plugged up. We've got to put the OBD2 plug in, and I've started working on the relays and fuses to go in. We fitted up the new fan fuse. Oh, there it is, that one there. New fan fuse in the factory spot. So it looks a little bit neater. The two big grunty fans, well, the derail fan is getting relays with fuses in. It's coming along nicely. Tomorrow is another day. I also mapped out my cruise control. Thanks to the guys at Toyota, Waikato Toyota. Hopefully we can make that work as well. I'm on a bit of a mission now. I want to get the exhaust on this car. And I've organised the exhaust place to sort it. I'm just way too busy to get that done. And I don't really like doing exhaust, so I'm not going to do it. So fingers crossed I can get the wiring nailed tomorrow. We spent pretty much all day yesterday, all day today. Overtime tomorrow. Plug it back together, configure it, test it, check everything works, put a front bumper on it, get it ready to go on a truck to get that exhaust done. We'll see how we get on. It is still quite a bit to do. We might even be lucky and the silicon might even turn up for this tomorrow. Couriers come in the afternoons. See how we get on. Jace, there were no magic fairies over the weekend.
Geez, I go away for fucking... How many days did I go away for? 4 days?
Yeah.
4 days and you do nothing.
Feels like that, eh? I did buy some sheep. And I bought some calves.
Oh, yep.
I had to be a farmer and buy calves. I had to be a farmer and buy, well, I didn't have to buy the sheep, but I bought some sheep. I got some workshop sheep coming to clean up around the back of the workshop.
Oh, yeah.
2 little ewes, Wiltshire, self-shedding. They lose their wool, don't have to shear them. They can clean up around the back of the workshop and the front of the workshop. So we don't have to mow it.
Yeah.
And calves.
Doesn't help the wiring situation.
No, it doesn't. I did fix a 4-wheel drive too. It was kind of cool. I went 4-wheel drive. I actually had some time off, so that's quite nice. Right, I'm going to run one more wire on that lot, and then I will do the relays and fuses. And the intake arrived. You can do the intake tube today. Don't cut this one too short because we don't need another one for the intake and for the airbox.
Didn't cut that one too short. They were cutting that.
We don't need to start on my one. Oh, Jay-Z stuff in the workshop.
It's very little, isn't it? Like,
Very small. Very sexual. So that's a Bosch 86. Is it 86?
82.
82 Bosch.
It's quite nice.
Do they actually have a proper clamp that goes on there too? Can you get the proper clamp?
There's guys that do adapters to them, but yeah, I'm not sure what goes in there.
I believe there's a proper clamp for them, eh? Something. Clip in. It's a nice unit. Cheap. Will it fit your throttle, your manifold, you think?
No, we'll have a look at it then later. We'll have to do soon.
It isn't here, is it?
It's in the back of the Suzuki.
Oh, you actually brought it.
Yeah.
That's why you were unloading this morning, so you could bring your 6-cylinder stuff into our V8 workshop.
Yeah.
Breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules. Kind of looking like it's back to standard. We'll put the cover on that. You see we've got the little wiring running along. Oh, you can't actually, you can't see it. Tucked away. Go through our grommet that we've increased the size of that hole in the firewall. Engine loom's done, ready to go back in. Kind of looking pretty positive here. You can see in here, so that's where our relays go. The big main relays, the factory ones go in there. And that's now the fan fuse for the little fan. And we've tapped in to using one of these fuses here for those ones, plus they get an additional fuse as well. We've got an intake pipe. It's ugly though, and we're not happy. We're going to get a bit of kinkiness put onto that end and a bit of kinkiness put onto that end to try and make that look a little bit neater and tidier. For this job here, I've actually called in the favour of a mate. So it's be popping in to see Glenn, and once we get the exhaust done, and he'll get in there and he'll manipulate this like a chiropractor and make it look lovely. Wait, it's back together. Woo. Back in. Oh, we have a bumper on. We have a bumper. We have a nudge bar. Woohoo! While Jason's been doing that, I make some relays and fuses ready to put in. So that's first thing tomorrow morning. I'll slam that in the hole and we'll set it all up. I think we're missing exhaust pipes. I had a little bit of concern just with the clearances in this area down in here. But we'll get an exhaust pipe on and see how it looks. And then heat clearance here. So I've left that on my list of just to keep an eye out. Hello, miss. Hey, don't jump up. Good girl. Good girl. I went through yesterday, played with some nipples. These things still got nipples and they should still get a bit of a lube because we want some slippery nipples. Fuel system's looking good. Drive shaft hoops. Again, there's that exhaust thing. Let's get it so it starts and runs off the vehicle. And we'll look at getting that exhaust sorted. And we're looking pretty close. Cam fitted.
Tuning cam.
Lip, 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 lip. Is that enough? Probably go some more. I'll probably put a bigger cam in it. There we go.
That's better.
You like that?
Yep.
I can probably swing it a bit more again. If I go that, we can probably swing it even more.
Well, that doesn't sound so good, that one.
That's too much cam? Reducing cam. Oh, it's really getting a swing on now. Back to smooth. I can put the lumpy cam on the switch.
That works.
Oh shit, I haven't configured fans yet.
It works.
Which fan is going on?
That one?
We'll do that now, eh? We'll do fans.
Yeah.
That's just on the settings that was in it. So that's its first time up to temperature properly. What have I done? I've sorted fuel pressure.
Yep.
That was just that 0. It had an error for 0 and a high and low errors was 0, 0.
Yep.
So I sorted that. I've set up the oil light.
Yep.
I've calibrated the APS, calibrated the TPS, and I've got the APS both going in, but it's still giving me a fault code for the APS, the accelerated position sensor, so I can sort that. I want to do air conditioning and I want to do fans, but I needed you here now.
Well, I'm here now.
So I've got to make sure that the secondary fan never turns on
before this is.
without the first fan.
Yeah. Low speed fan.
Yep, our air temp is presently turned off.
Yep.
So if we just coil that, when Glenn does the intake, what intake sensor we're going to put on air temp?
And all Bosch one?
We're going to put a push in Bosch one.
I think they work. I think they work better. They don't heat soak as bad, eh?
Okay, so if you grab one of those and a bung to weld in the intake,
I think they'll be
and a plug, you might as well, and a plug. You stay here, I'll turn fans on.
I'll get air temp sensor before I forget.
Okay. So while we've been doing fans, so I bridged that, right? So I bridged that. And then what I've got into the ECU is, I've actually got a feedback from this wire. So you go into that with your test light. And I've got AC input into the ECU. So this should turn it on. Yeah, get a bit of earth. And I've actually got it here.
On.
I can see it works. So what I did is I did that to a digital input.
No.
So you've got a digital input coming in when you push the button. You've got the output going to the AC controller. And then I've got a digital input when the pump turns on. So I can actually monitor when the pump turns on. I can see it.
Cool stuff.
And it all works.
Let me know if it works.
And it all just works. That's ready to be gassed. So bypass is done, and that can be plugged in when they're ready. Fan set up. What's next? AC set up. Oh, I'm gonna do cruise control. I've still got to wire the cruise control. So it's power on
When it's out.
when it's off. Okay, that's clutch.
Power on. No, it's power.
Power on when the clutch is off. It's a normally closed. It's a normally closed switch.
Clutch is out, so it's engaged.
Power on. Oh, okay then. I was going the other way.
Pushing it in disengages the clutch. So it turns the clutch off.
We're talking the same language.
Fucking not.
So my cruise control switch isn't working. This wants to see 5 volts, and this is giving a 12 volt signal. Jace is giving me a 12 volt, and some of them are above the voltage level that I need. Okay, I'm going to just take a break, and if you want to put it up on the hoist for me and calibrate some speed inputs. Throttle works too. Throttle works. Throttle works. Yeah, just run it up. Check you get a dash and a gearbox speed. Throttle now works. I had one number wrong just to make it a challenge. So one number wrong in the throttle. But I've sorted that thanks to Simon at Link. He picked up on that pretty quickly for me. And now to sort a cruise control switch. I've left this factory computer tied in at the moment. But that looks like it's going to come out. And we'll put a resistor in the line to try and get our voltages down to 5 volts. There's Vito. Okay, speedo's done.
40 on the speedo and 37 on the laptop.
Close enough until it's on the road, as long as it works. And I've got both of them. So I've got DI1 and DI2 are both working, so the dash and the laptop are working. Cool. I'm going to do that, pull up, turn off. Pull that key. I'm going to pull that pull up out of here. We're going to bridge in a pull up without it going through the ECU, trying to get that cruise working. Then we'll call it a day. Turn the key on. If smoke gets out, turn the key off. Okay, I'm happy with that.
What, the no smoke?
Yeah, I'm happy with no smoke.
Good.
Runtime values, tuning, runtime. I've got analog, cruise control switch, voltage, 499. Turn it on. 0. Yep. Set. 1.93. Yep. Resume. 0.97. Cancel. 3. We're going to have the cruise control that works.
And no smoke.
So I pull up. So take it out of the factory ECU. Pull up to 5 volts. 1K pull up.
And the computer.
Into the computer. So I'm just going to put a pull up. I don't know where I put it. Have I got a 5 volt close by? No, I don't. I might be better to just pop it out of here. Okay, let's set it up.
I'll do the kill, hey?
And then we get it back on the ground. I'll work out how to put it all in. Okay. Water cannot be ingested. And the bonus is, while Jace had this off, which that's got a really big hole in this bonnet, eh? These late ones have a really big hole. He was able to reach through and check the clearance for the airbox. We've got a grill. We've got a dodged up air filter intake for the moment, just so it's not sucking in dirt. We must get an air filter. You can see we've got a charcoal canister fitted. That stuff turned up. We've got to go around and clip in the extra zip ties, do all those little finishing bits that make it really look completed. Grab the vacuum, or just give this final a bit of a wipe. And in here is almost done. We're doing the last couple of zip ties. There's the link. There's the fuses. You can actually access them from the front. Really easy. Relays not so much there and behind. And then some wiring under there. And Jason's going to do the fuel pump wiring, of course. They have a factory fuel pump wire already fitted. These ones are really, really cool because just on the other side, by your left leg, left foot, there's the wiring for the fuel pump. It's already run back to the tank. So you pop it in the tank, connect that up, and then you just got to run a wire across the cabin. We've got the bits in here ready to go to the exhaust shop. Flanges, oxygen sensors, and we've got a Link air temp sensor, or it's a Bosch air temp sensor in the Link mounting boss. We're getting to the pointy end of the stick, and it's been a big haul. This wiring has been quite a few days of work to make everything work as it should, and I'm really, really happy that we've got some cruise control numbers going to the Link. They don't work yet. The cruise control isn't set up. We've tested it and we have proven that it doesn't work, but we will make that work with a bit of tweaking and getting some better numbers. And of course doing it on the road. I think on the hoist it doesn't help because it had no load. So it tried to accelerate it, and it could accelerate very easy because there's no truck to push. Yes.
And don't forget out of gear.
Well, technically when you put your foot on the clutch it should disable it.
Well, it didn't.
So we've got to check. Now I think it had actually already gone in, and I think my numbers were ramped so fast. So I'm pretty sure what it is it ramped up real quick.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did, yes.
Rev limiter.
Yeah, well, that's why there's a rev limiter in it.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was looking at some suggestions yesterday about rev limits, and someone said, take the hard limit off and leave just put it on adaptive. Great idea. Who cares? We just rev it till where it won't stop. Not a good idea.
No, that's
Not on any engine.
Yeah.
So, and we've pretty much configured most of the Link now, ready to actually get in and do some tuning and setup. The actual configuration, that was yesterday with the cruise control. That was a day's. Jace was doing all the other little bits and pieces and assembly, sorting bits and pieces. So it was a day's work for two guys to actually get it here. Some of the testing I can't do on my own. So he sits in the driver's seat, pushes buttons up, down, up, down, up, down. We think, we have a discussion, we have a powwow, and then we make changes. And then we recheck everything. And everything we do on this is checked and double checked and checked. The resistor for the cruise control was the answer for that. So it's on the 5 volt now, so that's working. And I've got to just change that other setting for the e-throttle relay. We had another problem yesterday where I had one of the numbers wrong in the Link, and what it was doing is instantly when you're turning the e-throttle on, it was detecting a fault with the throttle position sensor. Oh no, the accelerator position sensor. But it would do it so quick, it didn't actually bring a fault code on, and it would shut the ECU down, or shut the drive-by-wire down. So once we sorted that, we went through a process, and thanks very much to Simon at Link for putting up with me. He checked my map and he said, this is the number you got wrong. And after a long day, it's easy to make mistakes like that, real simple mistake. And we sorted that, so we're all happy with it. And these ones work really, really well. Everything else working good. It's fired up nice. And it's ready to go on a truck and get an exhaust fitted. So that's a big move forward. So we're looking forward to that. You're tagged in to just put that fuel pump wiring in.
I would have had it done by now.
I know. Yeah, I think that's everything, eh?
I think so.
Very good.